I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. It's a good day.
It's a good day.
Yeah, it is. Coming up on today's show, we're talking about the new border czar. Also, there's also a new UN ambassador, more liberal freakouts, and all the legacy media hosts are still freaking out on the struggle bus. We're going to be talking about that, all that, and so much more. You can check us out on all of our socials. Please click subscribe. Do it. Click subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. And you can find all of our links, all of our socials at chicksontheright.com/links. Do it.
Do it. And also do get yourself prepared for terrible times. You never know when there's going to be terrible times for terrible reasons. We don't know. We don't know, but we're ready. We're ready because of ReadyWise. ReadyWise.com. When you go there and you use promo code CHICKS20 at checkout, you will get 20% off your entire purchase. This is just one of the most delicious, yummy pieces of goodness that you can get from ReadyWise. They have amazing soups, but they also have like all of your typical meals that you might think of in an emergency food supply kit. Things like oatmeal, for example, or macaroni and cheese. They have like different kinds of rice meals. And they have these cool like self-heating meal kits where all you need is water and you can prepare your ReadyWise meal anytime, anywhere without fire. That's amazing to me that you can do that.
It is.
That is the coolest thing ever. So check them out, readywise.com. Don't forget to use that promo code CHICKS20 at checkout for 20% off of your entire order. Happy Veterans Day to every veteran out there.
Happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
We salute you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much.
Quick programming note, if you will, and that is that there will be no show on Friday. We'll remind you again, but there will be no show this Friday.
Yep. The next couple weeks are a little dicey. Not dicey, like not bad, but this Friday we're off, which is kind of a rare thing. And then next week there's going to be, we're still doing the show, but I'm going to be doing the show with somebody else. Because Mock is moving. I mean, not all week.
I feel just for
2 days. Just for 2 days, I'm doing the show with a surprise guest. So just because she's going to be moving to South Carolina, and we're like, we don't want to stop doing the show. We want to still give you guys info. So we'll give you some more information on that as the week progresses too. But just as a heads up, we're not going to stop doing the show. We're just going to. No, it's not
a little different.
Yeah, it's just we'll tell you who it is.
Yeah. We're just just building the anticipation, if you will. And then once I move, everything will be back to normal. I swear. I promise.
Totally. It'll be in a couple weeks. She's gonna be there. She's gonna have a new background, you guys, new house.
It won't be this boring old wall behind me anymore. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, very exciting.
Okay, so just before we do anything else, we just have to say that, like, as if the angels smiled down at us and heard our wishes, Tom Homan is now the border czar, you guys. And just a reminder of who Tom Homan is. Please hide your kids. Please hide your wives and enjoy this tiny 5-second clip of Tom Homan.
Tell you what, I'll tell you what I told the president. He comes back, I come back, we fix this shit.
He is like a walking set of balls, just a huge, you got to put him in a wheelbarrow. You know what I mean? There's just a giant set of ball. I'm so excited, but personnel choices matter.
Oh yeah, they do.
They matter. In this case, it's like, it is the people who are thinking about breaking the law are like, maybe I'll wait a hot minute. Maybe.
I mean, there is no better choice. There's no better choice than Tom Homan. It's what we all hoped for, and now we've got it, and it's just fantastic news.
It is.
And then in other personnel news, Elise Stefanik was offered, and she accepted the position of UN ambassador. So she is going to be filling Nikki Haley's shoes when it comes to that role, and I think she'll be fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, she'll be good. Again, he hates women. Look at him go.
Right.
It's a great choice.
Exactly. All right, let's get to some thank yous from last week and then also from today. Humber 1969 over in the Ball Pit crew said, "Yay, 10 minutes from my house," referring, of course, to our announcement on Friday of where our September 2025 meet and greet is.
I love that. Yay, the Stockyards. If you didn't hear, it's going to be in the Stockyards in Fort Worth.
What is it? September 13th?
13th. Yes, September 13th from 1 to 6 p.m.
Yes. And it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And if you are not yet a local supporter or a Facebook insider, those two groups are going to get first dibs on tickets. They're not going to go on sale until January.
Right.
But just know that it's one more benefit of being in one of our subscriber groups is that you do get first dibs on tickets. So think about that, please. And more from the Ball Pit crew. We also heard from Fergie62, who said, "I hope you have an awesome weekend with your families. It is a relief we won."
Yes, it is.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Null Hypothesis says, "Mock is the right hemisphere of this duo. Daisy is the left. Daisy is a badass, and I would not want to get on her bad list." Went on to say, "If I were a liberal ready to jump off the top of a bridge, I think Mock would try to talk me down while Daisy would push me off the ledge."
I don't know about that. What do you think?
I think you would just hold hands and do it together.
You'd
be like Thelma and Louising it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. What else? I think there was more from, Becca. Becca A33 said, "Happy end of election week, ladies. Thank you both for all you do and for bringing the actual joy to this election season."
It has been very joyous.
Sherry Cuttaford said, "Love to listen live, but replay is where it's at. Laugh, rewind, laugh again and again. So fun, and I'm so glad to have found this podcast." Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
Peggy Shackleton said, "Got my MAGA lipstick just in time for Veterans Day 11/11. College game day. Watching Kirk Herbstreit's tribute to his dog Ben was the sad moment in a great week. Love you, jerks." We're actually going to bring that to everybody because everybody has to see it.
Right. I mean,
prepared for a good cry this morning.
So sweet.
Because I just, oh my God, could you even? I mean, could you even?
No, it's just the absolute sweetest.
Colleen Wilson said, "Can your Etsy person create a t-shirt with Brat Summer, Kamala on a beach with a Miller High Life with umbrella, chair labeled retired 2025? That's a big ask.
It's a cute idea, though. Very
and
cute.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We will see. So speaking of Kirk Herbstreit, I mean, we were prepared. We knew that there was going to be a tribute on College Game Day, and we were prepared to be all weepy about it. We were not prepared to be as weepy as we were. We were also not prepared for him to not even be able to speak, you guys.
Yeah.
It was so unbearable. So he tweeted right after the tribute, "I'm sorry I couldn't properly lead to this beautiful tribute the College Game Day put together. Really wanted to thank you all for the avalanche of love and support you've shown Ben. It gives me and my family such comfort knowing how he impacted so many people's lives around the country. He was a beautiful and loving soul."
Dogs.
And here is that tribute.
Followed along in college football and social media anywhere. Maybe if you just drove down the street, we've seen billboards, we've seen signs. All of us have received a number of messages about the loss of Kirk's dog, Ben Herbstreit. And Kirk, we appreciate so much that you were sharing Ben with us over the years.
Yeah.
There's not much that has gotten as much attention on social media than the love for the dog. We've seen he's been a great teammate of ours.
Oh my God.
It's
I can't.
He couldn't.
Remembering Ben and how much he meant to all of you, certainly meant to him. Here's our tribute to our friend Ben Herbstreit.
Dogs are known as man's best friend. But what do you call a dog that becomes a nation's best friend? and call him Ben. I'll be honest with you, when I first started bringing Ben on the road, it was for me. I needed a travel companion. Hotel rooms can sometimes feel like islands of solitude, and his warm presence became my anchor to home, making my journeys feel less like wandering and more like belonging. When I was working in a hotel room or a broadcast booth or on the college game day set, reaching down and feeling that fur at my feet, it made me feel like I was home. Ben wasn't out here to become a social media star, but he became one just by being himself. The Rose Bowl named him its chief happiness officer, and that's exactly what he did. He made everyone happy, and he did it without even trying. He just wagged that tail or nestled up against strangers like they were family, and that's what they became. On planes, in hotel lobbies, on the beach, in the mountains, it didn't matter if you were a college student, a movie star, a national championship quarterback, or even a state governor. Ben didn't care who you were. Everyone deserved his love. I think we can all learn from that. At a time when everything seems to be aimed at dividing us, our love of football unites us every weekend. What I experienced with Ben was that, and so much more. Dogs' only flaw as a species is they don't live long enough, but the warmth they give us, that never goes away. So neither will Ben. This man's best friend, who became America's best friend.
Oh, God. Are you kidding me?
Can you?
I can't. I just can't. Oh, my God. Dogs.
Oh, my God.
God.
Why?
I know,
God.
right?
Oh, my God.
Anyways, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I guess this is a really good time to remind everybody that if you want your dogs to live their longest life, you should get them Rough Greens. Rough
Great
Greens
transition.
is the premium
Really.
nutritional supplement for your dogs. Of course, it's the brainchild of naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who's the founder of Rough Greens and now Meow Greens. So if you want to make sure that your dogs and kitty cats are living their healthiest lives, they need a nutritional supplement just like you do. If you're taking a vitamin every day, good for you. Your dog and your cat needs one too. And they love this stuff. You can try it for free. You can get a free Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens for dogs or Meow Greens for cats just by going to roughchicks.com, RUFF chicks.com, and you can pick up your free Jumpstart trial bag of it. They will love it. You will love the changes that you see. Energy, breath, coat, all of it. You will see changes the more that you use it. roughchicks.com. Whew, that was emotional. Yeah. And I promised that we would also get to today's super stickers, and we'll do that right now. We've got over on Locals, we heard from Becky Kaufman, who said, I ordered my Sherpa fleece jacket over the weekend. It is currently discounted. It will look amazing with my Go Red 47 lipstick. Thanks, Chicks. I'm assuming she got that from Grunt Style, and their Sherpa fleece is amazing.
So awesome.
Let's see. Joanna Burkholder over on Venmo says Trump's list of 10 things had to piss off every corrupt elitist in the world. Switch from campaign mode to stay safe mode to get these things done. No doubt. Tim Foolery says, you two chicks are my favorite. Fight the good fight, veterans. Happy Veterans Day. From Tim Hickson, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Dance with me in September, he says.
Yay. I can't wait.
C. Noon says Trump needs to keep promises. Republicans have control. No more money for Ukraine or climate BS. Out of NATO and UN. Make the guilty pay. Deport illegals. Not just executive orders. Happy Veterans Day, especially at Tim Foolery. XO balls, she says. Leah says we had 5 sirens in a row a few hours ago. Hits in my city and an Arab village across the way. A woman in the village is in moderate condition from shrapnel. Nothing serious in my city, thank God. I'm ready for that to wind down.
I know, me too.
And I feel like it's gonna. I really do. I have
give it some
hope about it.
A little bit more time for Trump to be there. Yep.
P. Proud Boomer, thank you very much for the super sticker. Cade Gonzalez Orr says happy Veterans Day to all fellow vets out there. Shelly Ethington says happy Veterans Day and thank you to all our vets here in our Chicks community. Happy heavenly birthday to my favorite vet, my dad, Lieutenant Colonel Leslie Nash, Korea war vet. He would be so pleased with these election results.
Love it.
Celine says, I'm in Blue, Massachusetts, surrounded by leftists. They think we'll be sad if they leave the country when America would be better if they do so. Yeah, if you said you were going to go, GTFO.
Yep.
Leanne says 13 years ago on 11/11/11, we eloped to Vegas. Happy anniversary.
I love that.
Celine says leftists leaving the USA will MAGA. Yes, it will.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel Gerhardt says, what the hell? In a car with strangers right now, you guys.
Crying.
What? Oh, crying. Sorry. And Teresa Raimundo says, happy Veterans Day. Happy birthday to the United States Marine Corps yesterday and go Navy. Thank you, everybody. So if you haven't heard, there's like some hullabaloo around who is going to lead the Senate. Is it going to be Rick Scott? Is it going to be Senator Thune? Is it going to be Senator Cornyn? Those are the three names being tossed around. And also J.D. Vance's name is being tossed around as a possible sort of different approach to leading the Senate. So the voting has yet to happen, but those are the names. And of course, lots and lots of people are really, really hoping, including Elon Musk and others, that it is Rick Scott, who has already promised that yes. And so have the others. The others have said, we'll look into how we can make this happen. But Trump is like, whoever it is has got to be able to get through appointments, recess appointments. Like, I need to be able to fill my administration with the people that I want. I need to fill these jobs, you know, even in recess. And Rick Scott has promised to be the person that will make that happen. So we've got a process to go through. We'll see how that shakes out. Mm-hmm. Lots of positions yet to be filled, but now we know that there are two people who absolutely will not be included. And Donald Trump made that clear. He will not be inviting Nikki Haley or Mike Pompeo to join the new Trump administration, which is currently in formation. He said he's very gracious about it. He said, I enjoyed them, appreciated them, want to thank them, but no.
Yeah. He learned a lot in his first administration. He learned a lot. And now he's like, I'm not making some of those same mistakes again. So onward. Bye-bye.
And Donald Trump Jr. also reacting to a lot of messages that he was getting about Pompeo. So Dave Smith, the comedian, said the Stop Pompeo movement is great, but it's not enough. Right now, we need maximum pressure to keep all neocons and warhawks out of the Trump administration. They've had their time at the table. They brought nothing but disaster to the world in this country. And Junior said, agreed 100%, and I am on it.
I love it. Mm-hmm. I love that so much. It's fantastic. Mm-hmm. Going back to Rick Scott, am I the only person that thinks that he looks like the lead singer of Midnight Oil? You guys remember that band Midnight Oil from the 80s? I said that to my husband yesterday. I'm like, he looks like, remember How Can We Dance When the Earth is Turning? Remember How Can We Dance? He's that guy. You've never seen them in the same place at the same time. It's the same guy. Just saying.
I personally am not a fan of any of the three choices other than Vance.
I'm right there with you
for any of them.
I'm right there.
But
I know
we've got what we got.
It's like we got to pick the lesser of all the evils.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there has been a seismic shift, as we all know, after winning this election last week. There's now been some reports about the numbers, which are really incredible. So if you look at basically every voting block, there were shifts to Trump, which are pretty amazing. Voters under 30, there was a 12-point shift. Voters with incomes less than 50 grand, a 25-point shift. Voters without degrees, 18 points. Black voters, 15 points. Hispanic, 38. And Asian, 32. Like, he really captured so many people, you guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're all racist, obviously, and misogynistic. That's what the legacy media is saying. But we all know what these people all have in common. And that is, the economy and safety, right?
Yes.
Those are the two big things that glue everybody together. Listen, there's more that we have in common than what we don't. And that's what these jackholes and the legacy media don't understand, because they don't live in the real world. All these people, that are listed here, we all live in the real world and they don't.
And you'll be happy to know that prices are already coming down. Here is a perfect example of that in action as we speak. Look at this. 75% off Kamala Harris gear. It's happening, you guys.
It should be 100% off, honestly.
I know.
Give it away. It's free.
Exactly. Ship this stuff off to Africa now. Like, why are we wasting our time?
Get rid of it.
Of course, last week we talked about the 4B movement and how ridiculous it is, but this is really a cause to celebrate. And conservative women are ready to celebrate Trump's victory by having more babies, apparently.
Yes.
Exactly at the same time as all of the crazies are swearing off sex. So this is good news for the world.
It is good news because I actually know a lot of young conservative women, some in my family, who over the past, 6 to 8 years have said, I don't think I want to have any children because of the state of the world.
Yeah.
And hopefully this whole regime changes their minds.
Yeah.
Because have all the babies, man. Babies are great. Babies are great. And I think things are going to be fine. Things are going to get better. Things are already starting to get better. So go and procreate.
Do it. Absolutely. Last week, in addition to talking about the 4B movement, and we showed a lot of liberal meltdowns, and there's more to come even today. But now there's an even more disturbing movement, if you will, other than 4B, and it's called the MATGA movement, and it stands for Make Aqua Tofana Great Again. This was a poison that was sold to women by other women hoping to escape their abusive relationships by poisoning their husbands without being traced. And so you'll see all these TikToks now of women that have those rings that can hide powder that they can put into a drink. I mean, this is psychotic. Okay. This is totally psychotic, but it's another trend that's taking off in liberal circles on social media. These people are crazy. They're absolutely crazy.
Well, they're mentally ill. Yeah. They're absolutely mentally ill. They are the party of mental illness.
They really are.
You can't convince me otherwise. They are mentally deranged. When they're saying let's poison your husband.
Right.
What the hell? Because we voted for Trump. Okay. All right. And they're incapable of looking inward at the reasons why, at the practical reasons why. Okay. All right.
Also, really disturbing headline from over late last week into the weekend. And that is that there was a report that FEMA was skipping households that were hit by the hurricane in Florida because if they had Trump signs. And so at first this was going around as a rumor, and then it was confirmed by FEMA. Here is
welcome back. A FEMA official has been removed from their role after a message shows the employee directing disaster relief workers to skip homes advertising support for President-elect Trump after devastating hurricane damage in Florida.
Now, FEMA, House Republicans, and Florida officials are all investigating the incident. And this all happened in Highlands County, Florida, back in October last month. The county was hit hard by Hurricane Milton and backed President-elect Trump by over 56% on Tuesday. The Daily Wire obtained private messages showing a FEMA official instructing workers there to avoid homes advertising Trump.
And this is the actual screenshot that Daily Wire got their hands on, which showed from that crew leader or whatever. Here are the best practices. No one goes anywhere alone. Avoid homes advertising Trump.
The fact that that's a bulleted item, that she wrote it, she put that out there. She didn't just say it to somebody, but she wrote it down.
Can you?
Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, I believe it. I totally believe. Oh my God.
Wow. Here's the rest of that report. It's unreal.
In a system tracking applications, hurricane relief workers would enter. They made no contact with that resident, saying, quote, Trump sign, no contact per leadership, according to the report. Now,
So the woman was fired, that was ultimately fired. At the time of that news report, they were like, well, we're looking into it. Now she's been fired. But interestingly, here is how CBS News framed it. They said that the FEMA worker had been fired, and then they used a thumbnail of a woman who had nothing to do with this instead of the photo of the actual woman. I will let you guess why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We won't say it out loud, but there you go. That's exactly why. You know what, though? She's probably still getting a pension.
Oh, my God.
You know she is. This is how this works. Drives me freaking insane. She's probably still getting her retirement. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I don't know for sure, but she's probably still getting her retirement paid for by us. She got fired. But they don't really technically fire anybody. You know what I mean? That's not how it works in the government. She's still probably getting bennies of some sort. God, it's maddening.
Oh my God. I mean,
just ridiculous.
The fact that, and then that there were staff. I would hope that the reason that Daily Wire got their hands on that is because someone who was on the receiving end of those instructions blew the whistle, because that's freaking bananas.
It's bonkers. Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
It's like, what do you call that person? It's not a racist. It's not a misogynist. It's not it's a MAGAist. You're a MAGAist. You're a Trumpist. You have TDS. And so you hate people who are of a different political affiliation than you. You have bigotry towards those people. Like, what is it? Because if they are going to call us all the names, we need to put a label on that. It's not just TDS at this point. They're targeting people who voted for Trump. They're trying to poison people at this point. You know what I mean? So so what is that? I guess it's a MAGAist. I guess we have to label it.
It's so hard to say, though. We need like a better.
We got to get a better word. Yeah, it is discrimination. It's crazy.
These people are lunatics, and they keep proving it over and over and over again. It's madness. And that's why we need a little bit of brain bleach. And I'm going to show you something good. This is from Kai. Trump's granddaughter over the weekend golfed with her granddad, and they took the cutest selfie in the world. You guys, look at them.
Oh my God. It's so cute. She got a big time ride to University of Miami for golf.
She's really, really good.
She's excellent. Yeah. Good for her. You know,
I mean, he is beaming, you guys. He's
just precious. Yeah.
I just love that photo.
Grandpa. So cute.
So cute. Great news. If you are really, really struggling with somebody that's complicated on your Christmas list, if you're looking for something to get for somebody that's tough to shop for, it's almost impossible to mess up when it comes to Omaha steaks. So especially if you're shopping for a dude, because they love to grill. Okay. They like the meat. And there's no better place to get meat than omahasteaks.com, especially right now, just ahead of Thanksgiving and just ahead of the holiday season. You can save 50% site-wide right now at omahasteaks.com. And just because you are a Chicks on the Right audience member, when you can save an extra $30 off when you use promo code CHICKS at omahasteaks.com. They've got a couple of really good package deals right now. There's something called the Classic Favorites Collection. It includes 22 different items, including a package of fully cooked beef meatballs, which are,
oh my God, they're so good.
Yummy. They also have the deluxe gift with free shipping and free burgers. It includes 26 total items, including the butcher's cut top sirloin steaks. You cannot go wrong. And then they always send you the seasoning too, the Omaha steak seasoning. Everything is so good, and it's like you can't mess it up. They always make stuff that just turns out perfect every single time. So take advantage of the special. Save 50% at omahasteaks.com and then use promo code CHICKS to get an extra $30 off. It's a great gift for yourself or for others. omahasteaks.com.
Tracy is right. It's great for New Year's. It's great for Christmas. It's great for New Year's. It is it's a perfect, it's slam dunk gift.
It really is, especially for the hard to buy for people. It just really, really is. All right, let's talk about what's going on in the media right now. There's some crazy ideas floating around. There's some crazy reactions still to the election. There's some more reasonable reactions. But first, let's talk about some of the crazy ideas. There's some chatter around people suggesting that Kamala should replace Justice Sotomayor as a Supreme Court justice. Sonia Sotomayor is 70. Like, that's not even that old. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're like, she should retire and make room for somebody younger like Kamala, who's just 10 years younger. And they think that this is going to be helpful.
They're citing her diabetes too, which is also completely absurd. People live with diabetes every single day. So they're like, oh, she's sick and she's old. No, she's not.
Oh my
God. She's neither of the two. She's neither sick nor old. So, you know what I mean? Like the way that Democrats discard people is alarming.
Each other even.
Right. They do it. They did it look at what they did to Biden. Like, that should be a huge red flag to people, the way that they took this guy who has been in their party and pretty loyal to Democrats. I mean, he's just like a staple there, an idiot, but a staple in the Democrat Party for half a century. And they were like, we're done with you. We're going to discard you like trash, like a dog, They did that to him. And now with Sotomayor, they're like, she served her purpose for whatever. And now let's just discard her for these bogus reasons, which is age. And like, you guys, like, they just are so awful with people, which, listen, goes back to the whole, they do this with abortion too. Like, people are just, the humanity or the lack thereof is just astounding to me, what they do to people. It's gross.
It is. And they're shameless about it. Here is a CNN panel talking about this very thing.
I hope that Joe Biden makes the next 10 weeks as consequential as he can. I don't care about drawing outside the lines of what Republicans may think about it. This is within your purview. You can actually do it, and you should do it. And, one more thing, John, is you have a hell of a vice president right there who has a legal pedigree to sit on the Supreme Court, and let Republicans go crazy and ape. I'm even mentioning that option.
Are you floating? This is 7:39 a.m. on the East Coast. Did Bakari Sellers just float Vice President Kamala Harris as a potential Supreme Court nominee?
Oh my God.
Not only am I floating it, but I want to stir up everything. I want people's heads to explode this morning, so we go into the weekend just knowing that the chaos has not ended just yet.
Oh my God. Yeah, they want chaos. Surprise!
What in the he thinks that our heads are going to explode. No, we just think you're dumb. I mean, we just think it's a dumbass idea.
Right.
But I mean, God,
if we didn't want her,
it's such a gotcha. It's such a I'm going to get him with this idea. Calm down, Bakari.
And we didn't want her for president. Why would we want her on the Supreme Court?
Right?
I mean, she has been rejected.
Confirmed.
Yeah, she's been rejected 16 ways to Sunday. Like, dude. Quit trying to make Kamala happen.
Yeah, just try putting her up in front of a confirmation hearing in front of a Republican-led Senate. Good luck with that.
Wouldn't it be funny, though, if she actually was put up in front of Kavanaugh?
Oh, my God.
I mean, like, the justice of that would be if he had to grill her.
Well, they don't do that, but like, man, that would be so fun.
But you know what I mean? Like, if he was, oh, that's right. He doesn't grill her. But like, if he was there, you know what I mean? Watching like the grilling, and like our side was having to grill her based on her past, or like the lack thereof of her experience, which, I mean, let's see how many cases she's actually tried. Let's see what she's actually done from a legal perspective. I mean, she plagiarized everything that she's ever done. I mean, she's a complete phony, but you guys do it. If you want to, it'd be kind of funny to watch that,
Well, a Supreme Court role for her is not the only thing that some Democrats are floating. I believe this is like one of her campaign co-chairs with a whole new idea for her.
Phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days. Make Kamala Harris the president of the United States. Whoa. It would absolve her from being able to from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see. Is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats operate.
This is now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Jamal's out here right now in the season of House of Cards.
I thought you were going to say, what about the Supreme Court? That's also out there.
Well, the Supreme Court might happen. I don't know if it will, but I think this is something that's...
Yeah, Jill Biden has entered the chat. She's like, nah, biatch. Nah, not gonna happen. He's saying that drama is gonna help them
because it'll put them in the news, dude.
I mean, like the whole Democrat. If drama was going to help you, all of the actors and actresses that you guys have paid millions and millions of dollars to over the past however many years would have helped get Kamala elected. Didn't help you. Drama. Give me a break. I mean, it's just these people are so parasitic.
I know.
That's what they do. They like are parasites on people, and then once they've gotten everything they want out of that person, they discard them. It's so gross.
And you, Bernie,
what do you got?
Had an opinion about this. Took you a while to get it out, and you weren't particularly verbose about it. But here is what Bernie says about this whole Supreme Court idea.
Before I let you go, I do want to ask you about the Supreme Court. Some Democrats behind the scenes quietly talking about the possibility, should Justice Sotomayor step down, to allow President Biden to appoint someone who's younger. She's only 70 years old. Is that something that you would support? Do you think she should step down?
No, I don't.
Have you heard any talk of this?
She's like, oh, dang.
A little bit, yes. I don't think it's a sensible approach.
And you don't think it's a sensible approach?
That's what he just said.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you very much for your time this morning and your perspective. We really appreciate it.
Oh my God. He's like, I'm asking you once again to stop talking. Just stop talking.
Stop asking me questions.
I've answered your question. Stop. She was not expecting that answer.
No, he's such a cartoon. I mean,
he is
such a cartoon
caricature of a person. God bless Bernie. The hypocrite, he's such a socialist weirdo, but I appreciated that answer.
Yeah, he's right.
Transparent,
He is right. Now, the mainstream media folks some of them are trying to come to grips with the new recognition that they are not all that important when it comes to how people are getting their news nowadays. And so the CEO of Axios was on one of the talk shows to talk about the fact that legacy media people are just not as important as they think they are.
For sure. I mean, I think all of us have to come to grips with legacy media is just not as important as it thinks it is. It is to you, it is to me. That's a relatively small group of people who rely on us for their information. And you have to go into the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. And basically, the way people get information is shattered into 20, 30 different pieces. And so if you just look empirically at the numbers, Joe Rogan's more important than any of us. He just has a much bigger, hyper-connected audience that listens to his every word. So maybe listen to Joe Rogan and try to understand, like, what is he talking about? What are the guests that he has on? What are the issues that they care about? Realize that the gravity of right-wing discourse is now taking place on X. It's not Fox. X is what matters. And now he happens to have the most powerful platform on the right, and politics is downstream from information. And there's just a whole new information ecosystem out there. So for us, for you, for Democrats, for Republicans, you have to understand that you now are going to have to basically navigate 20 or 30 different parts of the ecosystem if you want to connect with the American people who vote.
Did you hear the guy that was listening to him just let out a huge sigh?
Yeah.
He was just like, oh God, I have to realize that I suck.
That I'm meaningless.
Loser. Yeah, you do suck. Next up is Joe. We need to have Joe and Mika realize that they are not as important as they think they are.
I don't know that there's a lot of hope of that.
Good luck with that happening, right?
But it's interesting that they call X a right-wing platform. It's no such thing. It's open to literally everybody. So I don't know why they keep saying that.
You're absolutely right. It's the Bette Midlers of the world who are like, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home.
Yeah, but then she won't. Is she going home?
Right. I know they'll come back out. I mean, liberals are absolutely, it's just a free speech platform. The problem is that liberals can't handle free speech.
Exactly. Yeah. But they love to talk about this ecosystem. Here's another one of the panelists from that same segment.
Particularly the media ecosystem it's not a good one. It's a negative one. It's a radicalization funnel. But what they have done in their online media ecosystem is build a radicalization engine, literally the way militant groups do around the world, that takes people from relatively low-level annoyances with the world. Why are eggs so expensive? Why is my kid learning this new thing in American history in school that I didn't learn? And then moves them through YouTube videos, through podcasts, moves them from that annoyance all the way slowly to a full-blown fascist politics. It's an elaborate multi-billion-dollar infrastructure, and there is nothing like it on the pro-democracy side.
Oh my God. Except for the entire mainstream media.
The entire apparatus, the entire media apparatus. Yeah, exactly. And then they shut us down. You know, like it's like social media has pushed us and like suppressed us for years. Like, don't even get me started. Shut up, dude. This is the thing. Did they all just learn the word ecosystem over the weekend?
I feel like
now they're because that's their march again with the marching orders. They all get their marching orders. They're all like, yes, sir. We're going to go ahead and say no original thoughts with these asshats. And they all just run with it. And that's exactly what all of them are talking about, the ecosystem.
And Van Jones is talking about it also. I don't know that he uses the word. I think he might. But he's talking about how there has definitely been a shift in how people get their news.
We got beat because the Republicans and the conservatives built a different media system that had to do with online, podcasts, had to do with streaming platforms, and they were spending their money there. We were laughing at them and knocking on doors in Philadelphia and Detroit. It was like, there's no Trump people. They're not dropping literature. They're not knocking on doors.
In fact, it was laughing like, oh, Elon Musk and Charlie Kirk with their PACs don't know what they're doing.
We were making fun of Donald Trump for having thrown away his ground game and doing some weird stuff online. We thought that they were idiots. It turned out we were the idiots. We woke up in a body bag because while we were knocking on doors, they were making these phones into 24-hour-a-day political weapons for themselves. And so we got outflanked, outplayed, outbeat by people who told us the whole time that they knew what they were doing.
It is kind of interesting because when you and I first started doing this, almost 16 years ago, the left owned the culture. And we thought that everything was based on culture. Like, they did a great job with that because we were sort of like the nerds, And then, Obama came in and he swept all that up and it was all celebrities. People were so enamored by that and they loved it and they ate it up and they were like, oh yeah, it's like Democrats are where culture lives and they owned it and we didn't. And so we were like, we really need to do more of that. We need to do more of that. It's funny how everything has shifted because we still aren't the powerhouses in culture. People don't give a crap about the culture stuff anymore. It's just interesting how everything is sort of moved. And now people are like, we don't care what you have to say, actors and actresses. We don't give a crap. What we care about is the food on our table. We care about practical stuff. We think you're lying to us. We're on to you. Everything has shifted. And now alternative media is where it's at. People understand that the government is lying to them. These people are lying. They're all like scripted and we don't care about the actors and actresses because they're all in on the big lie.
And they're getting paid to say things.
Right.
That's what they do for a living, right?
Yeah.
So they're getting paid by campaigns. And oh my God, I mean, the amount of money that Kamala spent on celebrities.
She's in debt.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that they had all that money, and I can't remember the exact number, but it's like tens of millions of dollars. They're in debt because they paid celebrities to say, I love Kamala, when they couldn't just do it on their own without being paid. That's a testament to how freaking phony these people are, and people are onto them. They want authenticity and they get that with Donald Trump.
Yep. Great news for people who have never yet attended, or maybe you have and you just want to do another one. If you've never attended a live webinar that's hosted by our friend Zach Abraham at Bulwark Capital Management, he's hosting another one on November 21st. This would be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. And you can sign up to hear about how this election is going to shift the markets, what it might do to your retirement. You can get all the information that you need. Sign up by calling 866-779-RISK, or you can just sign up by going to knowyourriskradio.com, knowyourriskradio.com.
Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. The opinions expressed in this program are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual or on any specific security. Any references to performance of securities are thought to be materially accurate, and actual performance may differ. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Track 24308.
knowyourriskradio.com. Sign up. They're really,
Mhm.
really good. Okay, so Van Jones sounded very reasonable right there. Like he got it. He understands what happened a little bit. But there are some hosts, and namely on MSNBC, who absolutely do not get it and are pissed off when you say it to their face, like this woman did to Ari Melber, who cannot deal.
Harris a little argued it's actually better than you think. And the U.S. economy is, quote, the envy of the other European nations and all this other stuff. Is that, in your view, a good message for the Democrats to try to talk people out of what they're feeling?
Yeah, I never saw that in a paid ad. What matters, folks, no one watches cable news. Nobody watches news, okay?
Why'd you take the booking then, Rachel?
No, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of the overall population, Ari, I mean, we're talking about 10% of the population.
No, I just have to fact check you. You know, millions of people watch all types of news and then even more on YouTube. So when you say no one, I think you mean undecided, low information, swing voters. Many people don't. Many people do.
The majority of people don't know who their governor is. Okay.
Somebody's butt hurt. So hurt in the butt. He's so hurt. You guys, his butt is hurting. He needs some salve on that. So hurt right there in the butt. God bless him.
Yeah, he's like, why'd you come on the show then?
Yeah, bitch. I mean, it's just so mean.
He was so mad. I love
God,
that.
he was so mad.
You love it. I mean, he's one of the people that doesn't get it. And there's a lot of them. There's also this, I don't even know who this clown is on MSNBC that you're about to see, but there's now the angry people, the angry leftists are convinced, and there's no convincing them otherwise. They refuse to have any introspection. They just believe that America is fundamentally terrible, and we are all terrible to have voted in such a horrible, horrible, terrible, terrible person.
Yeah.
And the leader of the discussion is Stephanie Ruhle, who doesn't believe that America is terrible, and he just fights her on it.
A lot of people voted because their life's too damn expensive, and it was here, and
they voted for. You're telling me, Stephanie, that all of these people who believe that their lives are, that bread is too high and eggs are too high, that they voted for a convicted fella.
Yep.
A guy who said we can grab the pea.
I think that a lot
they
of
voted for this guy.
I'm not defending it, but I think there are tons of people that don't pay attention to, and I'm not defending it, don't pay attention to politics at all. But while we live in the most prosperous country in the world, people are saying life's not fair. I'm not doing well. My son's still living in the basement. I can't seem to get a job. I don't like the status quo. I'm voting for something else. And he was
I
the person.
love you to life.
I love you.
But I do not believe that. I cannot believe that. And the reason I think you believe it is because you don't want to believe that that's what's really motivating them. It's always the case. People don't want to believe what the country actually is, because if they believe it, they're going to have to confront what's in them.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, this is. Listen, he has been asking like, what's wrong with America forever? Like he hates America. And this is one of the main, I mean, obviously the economy and crime and the border and all these other, so many reasons we elected Trump, right? Because he's going to fix things. But a lot of this whole, like, I hate America bullcrap that's another reason why we were like, get this guy in. I'm so sick of this America bashing. I'm so sick of people telling me that America sucks. Like, screw you, man. Go someplace else if you don't like it. There's no place else to go. Like, if America falls, if you guys turn it into some commie country that you want it to be, where do we go? Tell me where we go. Because there is no place else to go. We're the best. I'm so sick of people saying how much it sucks here. If you think it sucks, GTFO.
Yeah, I really wish he and others like him would. And another person like him is Sunny Hostin. There were absolute fireworks on The View on Friday because Sunny, it falls just exactly in line with what you just heard. This is all people's fault. America sucks. America's terrible. And people, the other cast members of The View tried to push back. But man, she is so far gone.
Yeah.
And this clip was just, even Sarah Haynes gets mad. Like she's getting mad at her. Like, no, it is time for us to look inward. Oh my God. And she will not hear
won't do it.
And actually is what is wrong with America.
Oh my God.
I think what is wrong with our country that the Republican Party would choose as a candidate and support a candidate who is an insurrectionist, who is an election denier, who is someone who is twice impeached, 34-time convicted felon. Someone who has been accused of alleged sexual misconduct by 26 women, found liable for sexual abuse. What is wrong with this country that they would choose a message of divisiveness, of xenophobia, of racism, of misogyny, over a message of inclusiveness, a message for the people, by the people, of the people. That is what the problem is. It's the Republican Party.
But can I, the message of the Democrats sounded elitist. You don't have value in the society.
They
you don't
sounded
have a
that way, but when you look at the proof,
yeah,
they weren't.
but Joy, it's condescending. It's condescending. There is a
condescending.
The way that the left speaks to its voters.
Yep.
It really is
a message of joy and inclusiveness.
No, the message of not being educated, being dumb, and what's wrong with America.
Who said that?
Sunny just did.
What is wrong with America?
My point here is that very introspective.
That's not what Kamala Harris said.
No. But my point is, I don't blame Joe Biden. I don't blame Kamala Harris. Go back as far as you want. I believe I blame a messaging within the Democratic Party.
You don't blame the Republican Party?
Can I just finish my point, please? I obviously have a problem. Anyone has a problem with Donald Trump. The bigger question should be, yes, Sonny, why did they vote for him?
Yes.
In sweeping.
So they need to be introspective.
No. We need to be introspective. If we voted for Kamala Harris, we need to say what didn't resonate with the voters. Do you know what didn't resonate with the voters? When they were saying we don't feel safe and the left focused on defund the police and bail reform. Yeah. When they said we're worrying about. Can I just finish? Let me just finish real quickly. When they were focused on renaming.
Show, ladies.
Joy. When they were focused on renaming schools, there were people saying, hey, students are destroying colleges. I paid for that. I sent them there. They can't learn. And everyone apologized for it and didn't want to attend to it. They also denied the border was a crisis and kept saying, no, it's fine. This is not a.
There was a border bill, though. There was a border bill.
Yes, but Joy, my point is they screamed. They didn't vote for him because he's a racist or a misogynist. They voted because they needed help in their everyday lives.
I mean, she preached some truths there.
And Sunny, they won't hear it. They just won't hear it.
They won't because they don't live in the real world, and they don't want to live in the real world because she has her place in life. What did she call it? She has her lot in life. She's here. I mean, she's got her lot in life, you guys. Her mom doesn't.
She's real worried about that.
God, these women are insane. Why is that show still on? How? Who watches that shit?
I don't know. I don't know.
But
it's not just that show. I mean, like, there's this guy. I don't know who this guy is either on CNN, the CNN panel. And one of the Republican strategists was trying to say, one of the reasons that was lost is because the left has gotten so crazy, like when it comes to having boys play girls' sports.
Right.
And this guy lost his shit about how no, those are girls, you can't be transphobic. And like,
oh my God,
the biggest fight ensued. And again, I'm just thinking to myself the entire time, you're the reason that Trump won, and he won't get it. But here he is trying to sound all holier than thou.
A lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to listen to you call a trans
oh my God.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls' softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen to that.
Let's reset for a second because, look, this is a really heated issue, right?
Really?
And Sharmichael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, like, let's try to talk about this in a way that is respectful.
Okay, so let me rephrase this since I'm being targeted here.
I don't.
There-
You're not.
no,
Just
it's
to be
okay.
clear, you are not being.
But I
targeted.
am. But it's okay.
I'm specifically
It's okay.
saying that I know that you are not intending to be transphobic.
He should know that I'm not.
But
he wants to
I
sit
want
here
you
and
calling you
bloviate
transphobic.
and
I
make
want
it
you
sound
to.
good.
I want to give you an opportunity.
So the way regular people interpret it,
That's not
which is why
regular
those
people.
ads were
That's not regular people. There's no consensus that these are actually boys. This whole thing about trans girls is a canard. We're talking about a tiny, tiny sliver of the population.
That may be the
and we're
case,
using
but
that
my point in
to
terms
take
of
away
its
healthcare from
effectiveness.
thousands of people.
Hold on, just get to your point.
My point in terms of its effectiveness. Regular people with children look at these things and they say, you know what, this is a bit too far. I do not agree with this. I don't like this. I think Democrats are going way too much to the left on social issues. They're uncomfortable with it. A lot of people believe that. A lot of families believe that. You may disagree with that reality, but that's why Republicans kept running those ads over and over and over again, because they saw the metrics suggested that they were working.
In those ads over and over again. And
yeah, you may disagree with it because you're mentally ill. There's a difference between a boy and a girl. What?
Remember when that was not even up for debate and things were like normal?
About 5-6 years ago, that wasn't up for debate. And now these people have jumped the shark, which is why you lost.
Yep.
And if you can't look in the mirror and see that, I can't help you. You're mentally ill.
There was some comedian on a different panel on CNN with Scott Jimmy. And they got into a spat because this guy was such a toddler about the way that he was talking about Trump and just lying about him, saying he hates veterans. This fight just cracked me up just because of how juvenile it was. And watching Scott sit back and laugh at this guy is everything.
The Biden presidency, he was in really good shape until August of 2021. When Afghanistan happened, he went under 40, she went under 40, and they really lived there until the end of the He's still there.
Why?
Look, I'll tell you why.
Because he ran and told us that the adults were back in charge, and that was the opposite.
Yeah, they
of
were
that.
because
and
Donald Trump was a child.
And you know what else?
Yeah.
And you know what else? The fact that they wouldn't give these 13 service members' families the time of
bullshit,
day.
Dude.
Time of day.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but Donald Trump hates veterans. He called them suckers and losers. He did. He absolutely, despite, he has his whole life. He has his entire life.
I know you're super emotional. I just.
Of course I am. I'm terrified.
I'm telling you, the political reality is that when they made that decision.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter, but you don't admit
when they made that
Donald Trump
decision.
hates veterans. You don't admit it. You deny a man, Chief John Kelly, a Marine. You deny. You say he lied.
You're still campaigning.
You say he lied.
Oh my God.
It's not over. It'll never be over. I mean, you guys live on the tippy top of bullshit mountain. If you actually think that so many people think that the pullout of Afghanistan was the pivot point, are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, I can read a chart and I can read a poll. I guess you can't. But the reality is when he made that decision.
Your petty insults are so weak, dude. You have no idea. Like, I don't even understand if you hear yourself talking. Look, you can laugh all you want, but like, I can't read a chart. Like, it's just so hacky. It's so uninteresting.
Look, the reason that we brought this up is because that was from a Democratic.
Why would they pull a comedian in to spar against Scott Jennings, who has, a far greater intellect? Why would they do that? Because that guy looks like a douche.
Right? He just looked like such a child.
Oh my God. The tippy top of bullshit mountain. Okay. All right, Brenda. Okay. That guy did not come out looking good.
No, he did not.
And who would see him do stand-up ever? I mean, that is not a good advertisement for your job ever. Wow.
Oh my gosh. I mean, listen, our side is definitely enjoying this moment. And we have every right to
We've
enjoy
earned it. Are you kidding?
We have earned it.
We've literally been taking beatings for the past 16 years. We've been doing this.